So, I'm sorry guys, but I don't have any comparisons to do today. I literally delayed this video for 3 hours because I was trying to come up with comparisons. And all I got is that Gumshoos is Donald Trump. And that's it. So if you have any joke comparisons about any of the new Pokemon that are in this video, let me know in the comment section below. Yo! What's up guys? PKSparkxx here. We have 6 new Pokemon confirmed. One's a pre-evolution, 2 are evolutions, another one is an evolution, and then we have 2 mons that seem to be, solid. I don't know, it's pretty decent. We have Oricorio, Minior, Gumshoos, Fomantis and Lurantis, and ending off with Mudbray. And all these mons once again look hype, but the one I'm most excited for the most is actually Oricorio. That Pokemon looks sick because there are 4 different versions of it. The whole thing about Alola seems to be, hey, let's take a Pokemon, but give it a different typing. That's like the whole thing. Because now we have the Oricorio with 4 different typings. You have the Ice Vulpix and the Ice Sandshrew and the Dragon Executor that I talked about in yesterday's video. Legit, they're kind of going in with all this stuff and I like it. If you guys enjoyed this video, demolish the like button for me. And make sure you guys subscribe because tomorrow I'll be talking about the new gameplay mechanics that were introduced for Pokemon Sun and Moon, including Ride Pokemon, Z-moves, and the Island Challenge, the Rite of Passage. I just hope that doesn't take out gym challenges entirely. But we'll touch on that one in tomorrow's video. Right now, let's talk about Oricorio. First of all, I think that just might be my favorite name in 7th Gen so far. Oricorio. I just it took me a while to understand it. I was like, how do you pronounce this thing? How do you do it? But once I figured it out, once I saw it, once I read it, I was like, Oricorio, Oricorio, Oricorio. It just sounds sick. It sounds better than Lucario. Now, granted, actually no, I can't say that. No, never mind. Ignore that. But in any case, Oricorio is a Pokemon that has a different typing depending on the island that you catch it on. As you guys know, the Alola region is based up of 4 islands, and each of those islands have a different typing of Oricorio. You have Bele style Oricorio, which is a fire flying type. You have the Pom-Pom style Oricorio, that is an electric flying type. You have the Pau style Oricorio with the psychic flying type, and then you have the Sensu style Oricorio with ghost flying. First of all, Sensu, tell me you're not thinking of Sensu Bean. Come on, man, it's right there. But all these Pokemon are decent. The fact that they all have a different typing is just decent, and to go along with this different typing, they all share, well actually I don't want to say they all share a move, but Oricorio have a unique move, a seemingly unique move called Revelation Dance, and the type of this attack actually matches the primary typing of the Oricorio that is on this field. So if you're using a ballet style Oricorio, which is fire flying, then Revelation Dance will be a fire type attack. Same thing for the Pau style being a psychic type attack with Revelation Dance. With Pom-Pom style, Revelation Dance will become an electric type, and with Sensu style it'll become a ghost type attack. So the fact that they actually have that, similar to Judgment from Arceus, or Arceus, again, however you want to pronounce it, I don't really care. But the fact that you have that is just decent. I like the idea of it. And what I like even more, well actually I don't like it more, but I do like his ability called Dancer. And this allows Oricorio to copy all dance moves. So if your opponent uses one, then your ability kicks in and you use that same move. I don't think that this counts, this takes up your turn either. You just mimic the dance that they use. So with this ability, you are able to use the following: Swords Dance, Petal Dance, Rain Dance, Feather Dance, Teeter Dance, Dragon Dance, Lunar Dance, Quiver Dance, and Fiery Dance. So if you're facing a Volcarona with Ballet style Oricorio, just wait for him to drop the Fiery Dance and then you'll do the same move. Let's go! Now, the one thing I'm curious about is, let's say Spinda does Teeter Dance on Oricorio. Does Oricorio have to break through confusion to use his ability, or does it just activate automatically and then they both start for 1 turn of confusion? Not really sure on that one, but still that is an option. I mean, that's something I was curious about. Another thing I feel like you can do is you can go out for Rain Dance and have the Pom-Pom style Oricorio come out, unless you know you have 100% accurate Thunder, because actually no, you don't really need to copy Rain Dance now, do you? You really don't. If rain dance happens, it hits the entire field. So there's not really anything you gotta copy. Now, one thing that could suck, I don't know how this would work, but if your opponent uses Lunar Dance when Oricorio is on the field, does Oricorio sacrifice itself just because it wanted to copy the dance of the Lunar Dance user? Which I think the only one is Cresselia. Every other one has Healing Wish. So if that's the case, that's a real messed up thing you can do to Oricorio. You can just make it sacrifice itself and just be like, I mean, granted they get to heal up a mon, but what if a person using the Oricorio doesn't want to use it? Then you're kind of screwed. But regardless, though, I do love the idea of all the Oricorios, and they each have their own personality. I understand I'm going on about the Oricorios a lot, but that's because there's 4 different versions of them, and they each have their own different styles. So they really do deserve all this attention I'm giving them. Competitively, Pom Pom style would easily be the best one. It's electric flying type. It has a lot of resistances. Its main electric weakness is immune to it because of its flying typing. I'm sure it's going to be taking a lot of physical hits thanks to being what it is. It can take a steel type attack. It can take a fighting type attack. It's pretty much like Zapdos. I don't know what the stats are going to be, and I don't know if Oricorio gets an evolution or not. But if it's a standard stat, then I feel like it might be like pretty basic. And I'm sure each different typing is going to have its own little tier list within Smogon, so we'll have to see. But personally, I believe that Pom Pom style is going to be the most competitive, and the least competitive would either be the Pawu style, because the Psychic Flying is not the best typing, but it's not terrible either, and or the Ballet style, which is Fire Flying, timed for a week to rock. Everybody avoids that when possible. There are always exceptions to the rules, like Charizard because of his Megas. You have Volcavona because of its stats and reliable recovery with Roost. I think that might be it. There might be another one. Feel free to let me know if there is another one in the comment section below. But that's pretty much it. So Pom Pom style is probably my favorite one of them. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Competitively is my favorite, but aesthetically, Ballet style is my favorite. Because I want to start getting to the Pokédex entries. Listen to this. Oricorio changes its form by sipping the nectar of certain flowers. Since it has 4 different forms, the same as the number of islands in Alola, it would seem that different Oricorio live on each island. The Ballet style Oricorio is very passionate, and power fills its body when it dances. It sends downy fluff flying during its intense dances. By igniting this fluff, it can unleash a fiery dance attack, which means if Oricorio Ballet style does not get fiery dance as a move, I'm gonna be mad. I'm just letting you know this right now. The Pom Pom style Oricorio is very friendly towards people, and it uses dancing to encourage trainers who are feeling glum, which is why it looks like a cheerleader. When it dances, its feathers are charged with static electricity. It can attack with these charged feathers, and sometimes it unleashes a powerful electric shock. So when it dances, it releases these feathers, and then the Oricorio uses the feather that it's dropping to its advantage, and it starts igniting its own attacks, whether it's electric or whether it's fire. Maybe Psychic goes as well, we'll have to see, but still, that's kind of decent. The Pawu style Oricorio acts at its own pace, which sometimes makes it difficult to deal with. It sharpens its spirited moves through dance, which increases its psychic power. It's said that this dance expresses its gratitude. To the guardian deity Pokemon. Guardian deity Pokemon. Is that Arceus? Yo! Is the second one praising Arceus? It's time! And here we go. The Sensu style Oricorio is quiet and collected. By means of its dance, it gathers the spirits drifting about in an area and borrows their power to fight. So it's actually using ghost power, like the souls of the spirits that are around, to fight. In other words, it's pretty much Kikyo from Inuyasha. I'm just saying. By the way, that was a great anime. I don't care what anybody says. Love that anime. Anyway, people who migrated from Kanto feel a great liking for this Pokemon because its dance reminds them of their homeland. Now, I don't know what that's supposed to mean, that last part, but if I had to assume anything, Ash is going to be getting one of those. It's the ghost type one on his team because it reminds him of Kanto. Because guess who's going to Kanto? Guess who's going to Alola from Kanto? And guess who needs a bird type Pokemon on his team? Yeah. So it's probably going to be the Power style. But let me know which one you think Ash is going to get. And also, I want to know your favorite style Oricorio in the comments below. So the next Pokemon we're going to get into is a Pokemon that I kind of want to assume does not evolve, But at the same time, I want to assume that he will evolve, and he'll evolve into Lunatone or Solrock. That Pokemon is Minior, the Meteor Pokemon. Now, Minior is actually a pretty decent Pokemon with a really unique ability called Shields Down. And Shields Down makes it to where your Pokemon, or the Pokemon, Minior, has high defense, although we don't know specifics, but higher defense. And while its Shields Down ability isn't activated, it cannot be afflicted with status. So Thunder, Sleep, Paralysis, Sleep, Burn, Poison, maybe even Confusion, Oblivious, and Confusion, Attraction, and stuff like that will not afflict this Pokemon before Shield Down is activated. Now, Shields Down activates when its HP hits 50%, and at that point, it gets a boost in speed and attacking power. So we don't know the exact stats, but if this Pokemon's stats are really decent, we can actually see a mon that can be really good in the early game, setting up hazards or getting Toxic or Thunder Wave out, and then coming at the late game when his HP is below 50%, and then it rocks out. The question is, if you heal this Pokemon up, if you use Moonlight or Morning Sun or Healing Wish or Wish, and you heal his HP back up 50%, will it go back to having his shields up? And the reason why I ask this is because of the idea behind Shields Down. Let me read you guys the Pokemon description for Minior. Minior are formed in the stratosphere and live by absorbing the debris around them. When they've consumed a large quantity of particles, their bodies become heavy and they fall toward the planet's surface. Minior has a hard and heavy outer shell with the core around it. The Meteor Pokemon seems to be made in such a way that if its shell breaks, it becomes lighter and can deal out quick attacks. When its shell breaks, the core in its center is revealed. You won't know what color will appear until this happens, which means that there's like 4 different colors of the Minior. You guys can see them on screen right now, and they're encased within it. So if you guys want to get a certain color Minior, you have to make sure you take his HP down at least 50%. But Minior, like I said, going back to his ability, because of that's how it works, and it's actually it's losing the particles around it. If you heal it back up, does it just get those particles back up immediately? Does it just pick them up off the ground? Does it make new ones? Like, how does that work? So maybe I'm thinking a little too much into it. It is a video game. They'll probably just take the simple route and just say, hey, let's just make it into, let's just have its Shields Down ability, not be activated anymore. Or maybe it'll be activated for the entire battle. Again, I don't know. These are the questions we must ask. But regardless, I do like the ability, and I do like the design of Minior, and I also like the idea of it. It's just like waiting up there in the stars until it gains enough debris, and then it like earns the right to fall down on planet Earth, and then it's a Pokemon. So is it a Pokemon all the time? How come we never saw it when Rayquaza was up there, or Rayquaza, however you want to pronounce it? But still, Rayquaza's up there, and we can't do anything. I mean, we never saw anything, but then Meteor just comes out like, hi, I'm a Meteor. And again, do you evolve into Lunatone or Solrock or not? I'm mad that we have Pokemon Sun and Moon, and we haven't had a single bit of information regarding those two. What is going on? But Minior, rock flying type, which like we don't have, that before. We have Archeops, we have Archon, we have Aerodactyl. I think there's another one. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I hope that with the introduction of a rock type, we also get better rock type attacks. Maybe at least one physical rock type attack that is 100% accurate, because Rock Throw isn't, Rock Slide isn't, Stone Edge isn't. Maybe there might be one. I know Ancient Power is 100% accurate, and Power Gem is as well, but those are special. I'm talking about physical. Give me something that's monstrous. Give me the Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, Ice Beam equivalent to a rock type attack. But maybe I'm asking for too much. I don't know. But going back to the Pokemon Minior, I like it. I think it's cute, and I'm interested to see what it is. Oh, this one I tried to avoid. But you know what? As much as I love the idea of Yungoos, who's a freaking goon, and you have Gumshoos, the evolution, who's a freaking monster, with the evolution, it's confirmed. Gumshoos is freaking Donald Trump. Why? No. I hate it. Look at it. It has the comb over. His hands are in the back and it's standing up, but it's like slumped over. It's looking just like, it even has the hair like going over his eyes. I freaking hate it. I hate it. I love it, but I hate that how much it looks like Donald Trump. Stop. And do not try to be funny and say, oh, I'm going to nickname my gumshoe Donald Trump, because everybody and their mom is going to be doing the same darn thing. With that said, though, the evolution is making me think like Yungoos and Gumshoos are going to be the rat-a-tat of this generation, where it's going to be early on, it's going to be really good, but then later on, like when you start getting to the competitive side, Gumshoos will kind of fade out. But its ability, Strong Jaw, should definitely be able to carry people on. I mean, Strong Jaw, depending on what type of attacks it gets. As a matter of fact, I'm going to look into this right now. The Strong Jaw boosts attacks like Hyper Fang and whatnot. It boosts Bite, Crunch, Fire Fang, Hyper Fang, Ice Fang, Poison Fang, and Thunder Fang. So I was right. So I'm assuming it's going to get all of those. Between Crunch and Hyper Fang, you have Stab. That's going to be really good at it, be hitting hard. That's pretty much all you need. You can probably give it like Swords Dance or, you know, Swift or something like, I don't know what you may want to give it. Yo, does any Pokemon even learn Swift anymore? You never see that anymore. It's just one of those things. But in any case, Gumshoos is a mon that's looking pretty decent. I don't expect his stats to be all that good, and even his Pokédex entry is kind of lame. Like, it says that Gumshoos stakes out, opposite of Yungoos, Gumshoos stakes out its prey's usual routes, and it waits patiently for it to come by. Gumshoos has a tenacious personality, which is why it targets one prey for so long without wavering. But when the sun goes down, it runs low on stamina, falling asleep right on the spot. Gumshoos can withstand a great deal of hunger. It's able to stay perfectly still while waiting for its prey, keeping watch without eating a thing. It just doesn't sound that interesting. It really does. I mean, it sounds okay. I get it. Like, it's supposed to be like a mongoose and whatnot, but I'm just not a big fan of it. That's just the honest. I mean, I'm still gonna get it because I am a fan of it, but I'm not a big fan of like the character behind Gumshoos. If that makes sense, I don't know if it does, but Gumshoos, the Pokemon, it's a thing. I think that he'll be okay for everybody starting out. As a matter of fact, I think he'll be great for everybody starting out, but then you'll get carried on with that, you know, as we move forward. Okay, so here are some Pokemon that I feel like are going to be left behind or not really acknowledged, or it's kind of, I don't know how I feel about them. They're kind of just there, but they kind of remind me of like Petalil and Lilligant, where it's like, you know, they may be useful in some way, but they won't stick out. Fomantis and Lurantis, well, the names are great, but they're pure grass types, which means that they carry common grass weaknesses: poison, fire, flying, bug, and there's one ice. There we go. But yeah, they're okay. Like, they're not anything special. I'm expecting Lurantis to be a physical type Pokemon. As a matter of fact, Lurantis is shown using the new attack Solar Blade, which pretty much looks to be like a physical Solar Beam. It's Solar Blade. The way it comes down is like it's Solar Beam, but instead of being launched, it's more so swung at the opponent. Like, you can see that Lurantis like swings her attack and whatnot. It's kind of what it is. I don't know. It seems okay. It seems okay. But Fomantis, I kind of like its Pokédex entry. Fomantis is nocturnal, and it performs photosynthesis while it sleeps during the day by spreading out its leaves in all directions. Because of the danger of staying in the same location 2 days in a row, Fomantis begins to search for the next day's spot as soon as the sun sets. For Fomantis, photosynthesis is not just a source of energy, it is a necessity to achieve the strength and brilliant coloration of its evolved form. Photosynthesis is precious to Fomantis, and it will fiercely attack those who get in the way of that process. There you go. Sorry about that. I'm not in English. Fomantis excels at long-range attacks like Razor Leaf and Solar Beam. Solar Beam is indeed a powerful move, but since it uses up the energy that the Pokemon has stored through photosynthesis, I should say, Fomantis really uses it. Now, actually, you know what I was thinking about? This is something that came to my mind. What if you were able to pre-charge Solar Beam if you use synthesis first, because synthesis is absorbing sunlight, and that's how you heal yourself, but it's also absorbing sunlight. So how would you guys feel if you were able to pre-charge Solar Beam and potentially Solar Blade, if it is a 2-turn attack like Solar Beam? You were able to pre-charge that with photosynthesis, and then the next attack, the next turn, you could just launch Solar Beam. Would you think that's a good idea? Yeah or no? I think that'd be a great idea, just to give grass types a little bit more effort. As a matter of fact, you might even see Solar Beam being used more. But this is just something I was thinking about. But going back to Fomantis, the Pokemon is decent, the Pokedex entry is decent. It's more so saying that all it wants to do is evolve and make sure that it is as pretty as possible. So the Pokemon is bound to be pretty narcissistic. And speaking of narcissism, Lurantis draws opponents near to itself with its flower-like appearance and aroma, and then it takes them down. What a Patoonie Dooney, right? It's said to be the most gorgeous of all grass-type Pokemon due to its brilliant coloration and elegant moves. Now, to that I say, are we just going to ignore Lilligant? It literally has elegant in its name. Like, it's meant to be pretty. It has Quiver Dance and it's beautiful. It has own tempo, so it can use Petal Dance and not have to worry about being confused afterwards, because it is the freaking best pure grass type out there. But no, suddenly Lurantis is the most beautiful Pokemon of all time. Man, screw you. Any case, Lurantis' appearance is maintained through detailed grooming. It will trust a trainer who does a good job of caring for it, but it will apparently have a difficult time growing closer to a lazy trainer. Lurantis is the totem Pokemon of, I guess we'll just go on. I already started speaking it. Lurantis is the totem Pokemon of Lush Jungle, the site of an Akala Island trial. It will overwhelm trial goers with the powerful combos it unleashes with the Pokemon ally it calls. So that's the Pokedex entry on Lurantis. Pretty much it's a very vain Pokemon. The first form just works on making sure it's as beautiful as possible, and then once it evolves, then all it wants to do is take care of itself and make sure it looks pretty forever. And then if you are a trainer who can prove that you'll keep Lurantis as pretty as possible, then she'll trust you. Otherwise, Lurantis is like, nah son, I ain't got no time for that, I ain't got no part of you, get out of here. So I don't feel much about it. I'm assuming it's gonna be a physical type, but I mean, it doesn't like reach out to me. And now we're getting into the pre-evolution of my faithful steed, Mudbray, the pre-evolution of Mudsdale. And I'm glad that Mudsdale is not proving to be a solo Pokemon, like, you know, only a standalone, kind of like Tauros or whatever, or Kangaskhan. But it's so sad. Just listen to the first line of its Pokedex entry. Mudbray could once be found all over the world, but it was overhunted and ended up on the verge of extinction. It's said that the Alola region is the only place in the world where Mudbray can still be found in the wild. That's so sad, man! Which means that Mudbray and Mudsdale are going to be rare Pokemon. So I gotta go hunting high and low, kind of like a Litleo, looking for some freaking donkey or a mule so I can get my faithful steed, Mudsdale. Why? Man, I'm sad. Why do you gotta hunt my homie Mudbray? Like, look at him. He's just so freaking cute. But in any case, to continue, Mudbray boasts superhuman strength, a surprise considering its strong body. Mudbray can carry loads up to 50 times its own weight on its back and dragging behind it. Mudbray loves playing in the mud. It's easy to live in harmony with this Pokemon as long as you provide an environment where it can play in the mud. If it can't frolic in the mire, however, Mudbray will become stressed and may stop listening to orders. Now, Mudbray is going to be a decent Pokemon, but we already know that Mudsdale is going to be thick. Did you guys remember? You guys remember when I was talking about Mudsdale? You guys already know the information about the Pokemon Mudsdale. However, the ability stamina, coupled with the fact that Mudbray can evolve, means that you can make this Pokemon so darn bulky. Give it an Eviolite, max special defense, max HP, give it whatever you want, and then if it gets a healing move, if it gets Drain Kick, if it gets Slack Off or whatever like that, so it has reliable recovery, I'm telling you, Mudbray might just be a UU wall in and of himself. Because every time you hit him, he gets a defense boost. Every time you hit him, he gets a defense boost. So which means that you're not going to be wanting to touch him. He's already going to be thick in defense. And then every time you tap him, he's going to be getting more defense. And then if he can heal off reliably with Slack Off or Drain Kick or whatever, then it's kind of over. It's just gonna be sick. I think Mudbray is gonna be a great Pokemon, and I already knew I love Mudsdale. He's like one of my favorite Pokemon, if not my favorite Pokemon from 7th Gen right now. Top, or pretty near with Oricorio. Don't forget, Oricorio is still decent, but still, this is just a decent Pokemon. I'm loving him. I'm sad that all you want to do is be happy and frolic in mud, and people hunted you for whatever reason. But I will find you and I will hug you, and you will be friends along with Mimikyu. I ain't forget you, Mimikyu. You will have your friends someday. For making it to this part of the video, the very end, I want to say thank you. I understand I had a lot to talk about regarding these Pokemon, and I hope you guys appreciated my opinions. I definitely want to hear yours, so make sure you leave them in the comment section below. Tell me what your favorite Pokemon is of this wave. Personally, as much as I love Mudbray, I think Oricorio is my favorite because of the diversity of them all. And I think Ballet form within Oricorio is my favorite. So if Oricorio is your favorite Pokemon of this wave of new or Alola Pokemon, then tell me which version is as well. If you guys haven't done so yet, demolish the like button for me. Follow me on Twitch. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And most importantly, stay hot, guys. I'll see y'all next time.